What's up, guys? We're back with another Warpath video. Today, guys, we're going to go over the age-old question. What's better, Liberty Arty, Martrys Watch Arty, or an ATG? Like, do people use ATGs? Are they any good? Like, what's the best in defense? I mean, why not do some testing? Hey, well, we're here to do some testing. So if you guys are interested, it's 3 parts to the video. We even got some bonus footage, so stay tuned to the video, guys. Recently, guys, I was in a discussion with some people and also some conversations in the game. And people, whether you're an old school type player or even a new player, a lot of players have discussed the whole defense between artillery and ATG, right? For months and months, everybody was like, forget ATG, it's junk, it's trash, don't worry about it, whatever. And I think that's partially true, but I think it's also a little bit underrated. Um, Most players go for Liberty Arty, they don't go for Martyrs, and there's a reason for that. So this testing is all about the difference in defense of a Liberty, Martyrs, and ATG. What does it do? Now, in this testing, we are going to use my maxed out, heavy dutyest, freaking super heavy that you can get. Gold plus parts, all different kinds of stuff. But it is rocking Spanner and Angel of Light for max durability and healing, right? And the whole point of this is so that we can get a sense of a player would, if he was tanking a base and he had artillery in the back of it, right? He's most likely going to use a super heavy, and he's going to use a completely maxed out super heavy. And why is this relevant? Because we want to see what does the most damage to that. Of course, yes, ATG is a penetration, so it should do a lot of damage, but a lot of players, they're going to have 3 or 4 Liberty Arties, or maybe, 2 Liberty Arties and 1 red Arty or whatever. They're going to be rocking a lot of Arty because a lot of players have a single super heavy and then the rest of them are artillery. And those players are going to be, defending their base. And what would be better? Would it be better to have an ATG? Would it be better to have Liberty? Would it be better to have Martyrs? A lot of people have these questions. So this is what the testing is going to be about. It's going to be in 3 phases, guys. So this first one you're going to see is with no officers. Okay, what that means is the guy who has a single march in his base. Okay, he's not in an alliance. He has maxed out tech. He's a high VIP level. You know what I mean? So yeah, he has no officers whatsoever in this first testing. The second testing, we're going to be putting officers on there. Now we chose to use Antonina and Percy. Why Antonina and Percy? Is because they both have a garrison damage boost because they are garrison officers, right? And we want Antonina first because she's for artillery and she's going to have a huge skill damage. So you're going to notice a big difference between officers and non-officers. But one of the things that we did was we made sure that we had the maximum camp boost. So every time you see right here, whether you see Liberty garrisoned, the Martyrs garrison, or the ATG, rest assured that there is a 5-2 split, or 6-2 split, sorry, 6-2 split. So that means 6 factions and the other 2 factions for a total of 20% on the camp buff. That is the testing that's taking place. And the third part of this video, guys, is we are going to go over some of the battle reports that happen so you can kind of see them. It's really not too relevant because, like, it's pretty apparent which one when you watch these different footages, and they're all in sequence. So in other words, this is as it starts, the super heavy, and how long it lasts. So, I mean, it is what it is on the timeline of not only the time duration, but also, the damage and stuff like that. So, those are the 3 phases. If you need to skip through the video to see some of the different things, then so be it. But that, in a nutshell, is the total testing. We have a guy, high VIP, not in an alliance, maxed out tech, only garrisoning a single thing so that we can test it with officers and without officers. And then we have my super heavy that's taking the damage so that you guys can see which one would do the best against a super heavy tanking your base. Let's dive into the video, guys. All right. As you can see, Arty ATG on the defense, Liberty Max, Martyrs, Vanguard, no parts on them whatsoever. I think this is very relevant because, and I'll stop the video right now. It's very relevant because the units that we were starting to use did not have the exact parts amongst all of them. So we're not going to use any parts whatsoever. We are going to have max components or the modifications, and we're going to do max level at 200. We're going to do no parts. So whether it has officers or not officers, there's no parts on here whatsoever. So once again, the first round, no officers. Second round is with officers. And we decided to use Antonina primary and Percy secondary. Okay, guys, let's dive into it. Made this little video. That way it can play in the background. So we have Liberty all the way on our left, Martyrs, the middle, ATG on the right. And you can see immediately the ATG, just the damage it's taking because of the penetration. And you don't really see too much of that on the other two. Why? Because they don't have a heavy vehicle damage boost. They don't have a heavy, you know, like a penetration value or whatever. But the Martyrs is doing pretty good just from a unit point of view. Not like a, you know, with officers and stuff like that as far as the boost, but, you know, definitely pretty good. Now, I wasn't going to let the super heavies go all the way down, meaning until they die. The next one with the officers, because, you know, it's going to die, I let it go all the way to death. But as you can see, definitely the ATG beat out the other one. It had it well past half. I pulled it back. I'm going to go ahead and pull back the other ones because you can see they would last forever. But definitely the ATG did better just by the unit. No officers going against the super heavy. Definitely way better as far as getting it down. Now the second one, we're going to put officers on there. So you're going to see quite a bit of difference on how fast this goes down. The question being is Antonina and them, is it going to boost up the artillery, the Liberty or Martyrs, better than the ATG? Or is it going to complement it better? And you can see already the ATG eating that freaking super heavy alive. Of course, it's supposed to, right? It's supposed to. I mean, it's for that. But the Liberty is definitely doing way better than the Martyrs. I mean, you can clearly see that the Liberty is doing way better than the Martyrs. But that ATG, look at that. All the way down into the red, pierced it, and it's gone already. So is ATG relevant? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the most of the time, guys, you're going to be tanking with a super heavy. People are going to be tanking with super heavies. So you need to kill that so that it goes to the next one or whatever. In second place is definitely going to be the Liberty right there. And in third place, yeah, the Martyrs. It is what it is, guys. The Martyrs just doesn't perform like the Liberty, even though it's supposed to, you know, be concentrated. It just doesn't do that well. And yeah, now let's go ahead and take a look at the battle reports. Also, guys, we threw in a fun little testing at the very end. So in this testing, we are going to have Fox of the Highlands with Guardian of Truth just to get that penetration. I said, hey, if you have an ATG, right, and we had Antonina and Percy, what happens if we put officers on there that have a lot of penetration, right? Like, that would be cool. I was like, do you have Fox Max? He's like, yeah, I got Fox Max. And you have Guardian of Truth? Yeah, I have for Guardian of Truth. I was like, cool, let's see what it does. So this is a little bonus footage for you guys. I did this one. And, you know, spoiler alert, it did not as fast and as good. And we'll see the battle reports at the end, once again, guys. But it didn't do as good as the Antonina and Percy, which there's a lot of skill damage from Antonina. And both of them have garrison damage. But I thought, hey, just for, you know, just for giggles, let's do a little comparison with some penetration, because I mean ATG should be penetration, right? So let's try to penetrate this thing. That sounds bad, doesn't it, guys? Well, yeah. Oh well. Anyway, but this is what it was. Yeah, you don't see that skill damage. That skill damage just really hurts from Antonina. This one definitely have some piercing. You see piercing almost every single time. And you see the, the little grenade things, or I don't know what they're called, from Guardian of Truth, but yeah, it just did not go down as fast as the Antonina Percy. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. That is a little bonus footage. All right, guys, here are the battle reports so that you can see them. Let me go ahead and try to zoom in a little bit. This one right here is from the Liberty. So, yeah, look at that officer damage, 16.3 million. The unit did 19.17. And, yeah, even the base did a little bit of work. But, so we're looking at 19.17, 16.3. Now, the next one, let's go ahead and switch this one over. This one is the AT, or the red Martrys Watch. Almost said ATG. Sorry about that. You can see 15.6 million and 9.03 million. So definitely not as good as the other one. So yeah, that's 15.6 and 9.03. We got 9.17 and 16.3. Very close, but the winner definitely goes to the Liberty. Now, the final one is the one in which we did for the ATG, right? And because, it's an ATG with penetration and stuff, not so much structural boost, which you're trying to kill a unit or whatever. Look at the officer damage. Definitely way less. It comes in at 10.6. Let me zoom in for you. So 10.6 million. But look at the unit itself. The unit itself did lots of damage whenever it was a 7.2 maxed out ATG. 11.9 million. So that's where the difference is. Definitely a lot more from the unit itself when it was the ATG. Anyway, guys, I hope that this clears up some of your maybe questions or maybe curiosity. You guys wanted to know, like, is it worth it to get ATG? Well, show your friend the video. Hopefully you guys like it. Anyway, till next time, guys. Peace.